Hello my friends, this is a warning to all the flat earthers out there. We need to be careful. We need to be very, very careful because the globalists are getting very mad. And this news article proves it. Police, firefighters called in after flat earth debate turns heated. A family argument over whether the earth is flat or round became so heated that one of the participants threw a propane cylinder onto a campfire, prompting an intervention by firefighters.
You know what ticks me off? People who think the earth is flat. The hell is this world? What is this round world coming to? What happened to the education system in this country? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you not see pictures from NASA that shows from outer space, from the satellites, that the earth is round? Do you not look up in the sky and see the moon is round, the sun is round? And what happens? Tell me, you fucking moron. What happens when you get to the end of the earth? Do you fall off? What happens? Once you take a picture of the end of the earth for me. I want to see the end of the earth. How come there's anybody never took a picture of the end of the earth? You fucking idiots. You're an asshole. You're a fucking idiot. Do you at least know you're a fucking idiot? Have any of your friends ever tell you, hey, you're a fucking idiot? Tell me you know you're a fucking idiot. I have more respect for you. Do you not realize that if a plane flies from one point and just stays in a straight line, and eventually from staying in a straight line, it'll wind up where it started from because the earth is round, you fucking idiot! Why? Why would scientists for all these hundreds of years tell us that the earth is round when it's flat? Why would they say that? What purpose would they get out of that? And if it is flat, what is it? What is it, like a piece of toast and everything sits on top of the piece of... What's under us, you fucking morons? You're a fucking moron. And all these conspiracy theories, everything's a conspiracy theory. You're a fucking conspiracy. There's a conspiracy of fucking morons. Mutants everywhere. They are multiplying. Just keep them the fuck away from me. Keep them the fuck away from me. People who think the earth is flat. That's what ticks me off. You fucking idiots. You're an asshole. You're a fucking idiot.
You do not know what he researched.
Brendan Schaub. When an idiot says that the earth is flat, he's an idiot. Because he's saying the earth is flat, and that's
from his opinion, though.
His opinion is idiotic, Brendan.
When it comes to the earth, I'm not defending him.
But you are defending him.
I'm not.
Don't put him on the same level. Let me talk. This is very important.
That's all you've been doing.
Let me talk. No, you've been talking the whole podcast. Let me talk.
Why are you so...
But I am so sick and tired of all these people with all their misinformed points of view, where they are just completely bucking eons of history and knowledge that's been earned. There is scientific knowledge, like vaccines, antibiotics, like the earth being round. These things have been earned over hundreds of years. And by the way, we all benefit every single day from science that has been earned, that has been experimented on, that has been proved.
Flat Earth, that's not a real move. It's not like a real movement.
It kind of is.
I only hear from Eddie Bravo, and this is the first I've heard of it. Other than that, I don't think you need to go on a tirade and educate everyone on history. And
I'm not doing
stuff.
that, Brennan. I'm saying you can't put my opinion on the same level as this fucking guy when he says the earth is flat. That's
I'm saying we got to be careful who we call dummies just because he's not a researcher, because you're not a researcher.
And I'm going to say to you, I don't have to be a researcher to know that some things are true and some things are false.
I agree.
Okay, and I'm also going to say to you that if
that's my point.
If you're going to get on to announce to the world that the earth is flat, and I know the science, and you're not trolling and you're serious, then I'm going to say you're dummy.
We don't know if he's serious, though.
Exactly. But if he is, then you're a bit of a dummy, And I can't listen to you about anything other than basketball, I would imagine at this point. Or take responsibility for people like me saying you're a fucking idiot.
Which I think
that.
he is, because you can see it says Kyrie finds the reactions hilarious.
Oh, there you go. All right.
There you go.
Then that's fine. But we do have, but listen, what I'm mad about is that we
I
have
think you
a lot
need to
of
do this
bullshit
in
on the
front of
internet.
someone who believes this, because when Eddie Bravo's around, you don't say shit.
Because I don't think it would, I like Eddie too much.
Why not have a debate,
and
though?
Because you can't debate Eddie. Because you can't debate Eddie.
42 years ago when I came to this church, nobody was preaching about a flat earth. In 1973 when I got saved, nobody was talking about a flat earth. I have read the documents, the commentaries, the productions of many wise men down through the years, and not a one of them was talking about a flat earth. Let me tell you something this morning, and you please hear what I've got to say. This is important. When all this stuff started bouncing back in my face a few months ago, I said to myself, well, these are brothers and these are sisters. They know the Lord, they love the Lord. We can abide together. We may not all see things exactly the same, but if we have the same Holy Spirit, we can dwell together as brethren. That was my attitude toward it, and I tried to project that attitude out to the people. But there are people on the internet right now that are calling me demon-possessed, calling me a heretic, calling me everything under the sun. It's because they have no respect for the man of God. That's not the world I was saved into. The world I was saved into in 1973, we respected the man of God. We may not have agreed with everything he had to say. Oh, no. That's okay to think. You don't have to agree with everything, but we respected God's man. This crowd today has no respect for the man of God. That tells me that there's something going on that's greater than a flat earth thing. It has to do with a demonic attack upon the church from the inside. You see, the idea of setting a date causes confusion that weakens the faith. The idea of the flat earth crowd that's driving a wedge between God's people is sowing discord among the brethren. From day one, I have never tried to drive a wedge between a flat earther and somebody that believed in a round earth. I've never tried to do that. But they are driving a wedge between God's people. Let me tell you something. It says in the book of Proverbs, chapter number 6, these 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination to him. He that soweth discord among the brethren. I'm just a man. I breathe like you do. I live like you and die like you. But let me tell you something. If you think you can stand on your own and arrogate to yourself authority and run God's men down because you're a flat earther and he's not, and you think you can get away with that, you better take a second look. God Almighty will not let it happen, and there will be those who will be dying. They will die. This is what the Apostle Paul said, and such were some of you, and he said, and some of you sleep. That's not my place to kill anybody. It's not my place to judge whether anybody lives or dies. But I do know this. You believe in a flat earth? You have that right. You do? Okay. I don't. But you do? All right. Can you dwell with the brethren? Can you fellowship with another brother or a sister that doesn't believe in a flat earth? If you can't, I'm telling you right now, judge the spirit that you've got in your soul. I want you to look deeply within your heart and in your soul and find out who and what you are. And let me tell you this, I do not believe in a flat earth. I'm the pastor of this church. And I do not believe that if you believe in a flat earth that you have any business trying to evangelize in this church and trying to win somebody over to your side.
Ich will auch nur die Tournament spielen! Los! Starte das verdammte Spiel! Starte das Spiel, du Hurensohn! Ich will spielen! Jetzt geht's los! Spielen! Du Wichser! Spielen! Spielen! Es lädt! Es lädt! Ich will nicht, dass es lädt! Wenn es lädt, dann muss man immer so lange warten! Ich will nicht warten! Ich will jetzt auf den Positiv denken! Einfach positiv denken! Gleich geht's los, ja. Einfach positiv. Ja. Es geht los! Es geht los! Ah, du Hurensohn! Nimm das! Friss das! Ja, ich hab ihn umgebracht! Los, friss das! Friss meine geschmolzene Scheiße! Du Hurensohn, ich werd dich umbringen!
Me and DITR Dearth, the Flat Earth guy, we've been texting. We're doing the stream this week. He's an awesome guy. So that's happening. I can't stand when people talk to Flat Earth people and they try to humiliate them and be like, you're so fucking dumb. Look at you. Look at you thinking the earth is flat. You're so stupid and I'm so smart. When in reality, there's a lot of really weird things about the shape of the earth. You know, this is one of those topics where people are like, oh, you're gonna debate, you're gonna get all fucking destroyed. I'm like, well, I also have some questions about the shape of the earth and how satellites never seem to break or hit any space debris, and there's like thousands of them, and there's never any issues. We never see them collide and fall to the earth, and there's like 10,000 of them, and they never go out. And there's space junk everywhere going thousands of miles a second, which is way stronger than any bullet, and you can't possibly track it. Why is that? Like stuff like that. Like, I'm an inquisitive guy. And so that's why Flat Earth people, I don't find them to be stupid at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was something legitimately nefarious going on with our current model of the universe. I mean, obviously it's not what they say it is. I love conversations like that, but people are always trying to be like, oh, sir, you're either going to humiliate him and he's going to look stupid, or you're going to look stupid, or you guys are just going to fucking say all this stupid shit. It's like, dude, it's fascinating. People get so mad. There's so much around this because people are like, well, you know, it's called the bending of light. You know, you're always talking about the water when the ship and the fucking curvature, and try doing that on land, faggot. It's like, yeah, it's called the salt flats, and where is that? Ecuador, Venezuela? You can see like 150 miles with no curve. I'm not saying the earth is flat. I'm just saying that's fascinating. They're like, well, I mean, try doing that. Try doing that on the moon, faggot. It's like, dude, try just talking about something and not being terrified all the time. How does that sound? How does it sound to just, you know, not assume... When people are like, they're these experts on light bending, it's like, you don't even know if it's a wave or a particle. It's both. It can't be. It can't be both a wave and a particle. A particle and a wave cannot simultaneously exist. A photon and a wave can't both exist. So when people say the frequency of infrared versus ultraviolet and all that, that means energy is transferring through a medium. If you ever see a wave with water, the water doesn't move, it's the energy moves. That's how a wave works. A medium vibrates, zip. A photon is like a bullet, it's a particle, and that's the only way they can explain traveling through a vacuum, because they didn't think that one through. It can't be a wave and a particle. That's like a vegan meat eater. Those are two things that can't, so how could it be a wave and a particle? And then they go, well, you're not smart enough to understand. Here's a team of Jews. No. See? Someone just said light's a string. Right, I'm not saying what isn't. I'm fascinated by this stuff, and I just find that world to be interesting. It could all be a psyop. It could all be bullshit. It could be a way to discredit valid conspiracy theories. I don't think so. I think there's way too many things about it that are fucking insane, where it's not one of those hiding in plain sight psyop things where it's like it's meant to discredit. You know, like I've been wrong many times in my life, but I can usually spot those red herring type things where they're trying to pull you away. You know, with it's called the prestige and magic, where you guys get it. I don't feel that that's it. Oh, and dude, modern engineering wouldn't work if the world was flat. People always say that, but they never give me any examples. None. They always go, well, there's all the scientific evidence. There's pages and thousands of years. And then I always say, like what? And they always go, well, all of it. Every bit of it. I'm like, how does a satellite not ever break? Thousands of satellites spinning for years and years and years with space junk, and you never see them, they never break. No one's ever like, well, the satellite broke, so we don't have internet today. Never happens. How is that possible? Well, I mean, Big Bear, you wouldn't. There's so many things that are bizarre. Why is the sun and the moon the exact same size in the sky, even though they're 400 times different in size? I mean, the odds they're exactly the same size is insane. That doesn't make any sense. And then NASA has already lied to us about the moon landing. That is a fact. So we can't just believe them. They're liars. And the image of globe Earth has been photoshopped. I've seen interviews with the guy who did it. He brags about it. He brags about how it's a composite image. And of course he has to manipulate it and change it because there's no way to just show an image of the Earth from a satellite. There's no images of Earth from the satellites. None. They're all artist renditions. But no engineering would work. That isn't true. Ham radio is one of those things that I need explained. Ham radio seems to require a sphere Earth. And I hunt these things down, guys. Hunt. You know, people will be like, well, then how the fuck does this thing work? And I'll look through, I'll analyze it. And there is ways that it would work on a flat Earth. Like all these towers. Why do you think you get no reception in the middle of a desert and then you get reception when you're near a city? If it was satellites, it would be grids and it would not care if you were in a desert or in a city. It's because of towers. Towers, guys. Towers give you reception. So if it was satellites, why would it matter if you were near a large population or not? Why would there be these dead spots? Because it's topographical from towers. I'm not saying the world is flat. I'm just saying that doesn't compute. Ham radio, AM radio, you know, these things seem to bounce around a sphere. But this is what I think is interesting. And yeah, someone could say that's the firmament, that's the dome around, and then people that just react like everyone's stupid, it's an insult to me personally. When people are like, man, how could you even listen to these fucking morons? I'm like, your IQ is 90, mine's way higher. So just know that it's not stupid to wonder how all this shit works and why there is issues with a lot of it. There is. And it could be that the general population simply doesn't know a lot of shit because we weren't taught it in school. That's a possibility. A possibility is our educations are so fucking bad that we can't, because I can't put it together. So I know a lot of these people calling flat earthers stupid are full of shit. I had public education, brain destruction, schooling, but I also had really smart parents that taught me at home. I did a lot of learning on my own. I had piano, I had a lot of logos. I can't put together how this works, how satellites work, how space works, how a plane isn't affected by the spin of the Earth. And yet people say, oh, it's all because it's in a contained thing. No, it isn't. When a plane is 30,000 feet off the ground, it's not even in the atmosphere. There's so little atmosphere that it doesn't get sucked into an infinite vacuum. There's so little. Like even when you're on a moving bus and you jump up and down or walk, you still feel movement. If we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour and a plane going east to west isn't affected by the spin of the Earth, that doesn't make any sense to me. The satellite situation makes no sense to me. The images of the sun and the moon and how they both are on a 24-hour, like they both move at the same speed. The odds of that are so low, it doesn't make sense. And so it could be my lack of education, literally. There could be things that I'm missing. But the people saying, you're all a bunch of fucking idiots, I know they don't know. One thing I do know is the people that spiral. Like, the way Vox Day reacts is the accurate way of a skeptic, a flat earther. He's like, maybe, I highly doubt it, but maybe. You know, and I'm 99% sure he thinks the world is absolutely a sphere, but he would never be like, you fucking morons. He's like, well, that would be interesting. Because, like, to say there's no chance when you understand the level of deception that people have done to the world, the means, motive, and opportunity are all there. And the fact that there is no cohesive image that science has given us of the universe. Dark matter and dark energy make no sense. 90% of the universe is something you can't see or feel or register or have any way of measuring. 90% of all the matter and energy. It's just trust us. Gravity is immeasurable. You can't detect gravity on the smallest level of very dense objects, which doesn't make sense. There should be an ability to have very, very tiny dust particles get attached based on gravity that can't be measured. It's because it's so weak of a force that it can't be measured anywhere except in large celestial bodies based on the heliocentric model of the solar system. So when people say that this is all stupid, they're so dumb that they can't question it because they don't know all the. We can't replicate a vacuum on Earth. Not only does a spacesuit not work in a vacuum, we can't even replicate it. Why do you think that all the NASA videos are from underwater? That's the opposite of a vacuum. A vacuum would pull it out. A vacuum with a normal spacesuit would be ripped apart like that, and anything inside would die. Fact. The whole space program is bullshit. When you are replicating a vacuum with the pressure of water, that makes no sense. And there's videos of the International Space Station where you can see bubbles. Fact. And so that's why I find this very, very interesting.
You fucking morons! You're a fucking moron. A conspiracy of fucking morons! Keep them the fuck away from me. Keep them the fuck away from me. Fucking idiots. You're an asshole. You're a fucking idiot.